Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today let's go over another premium medium question in the database/pandas category that I just solved on my own. So again, really glad that I was able to come up with my own solution to this question without any assistance and do it pretty easily. So yep, let me show you how I did it. Again, I thought this one was relatively straightforward. So this one's called highest grade for each student. It asks you to write a solution to find the highest grade with its corresponding course for each student. And in a tie, you should find the course with the smallest course ID and then return it sorting in student ID from smallest to biggest, top to bottom. So basically, we want the highest grade. So we're going to loop through and get every student ID, look for the highest grade. And the idea that I came up with was to use two dictionaries, one dictionary to keep track of the highest grade, one to keep track of the smallest course ID for each student. And that makes it easier because since the key is the same in both dictionaries, we can just get the first value of one list and the last value of the second list because they're already in sorted order. So let's go ahead and do exactly that. Let's call this D as default dict of list. And for I, E, and enumerate enrollments, student ID. So this one is going to be used to get the highest grade. So DE.append enrollments of grade of I. So same row, lines up. And then we can sort it because I don't think pandas questions care about time limit. So that's fine to sort it every iteration. Cool. So now we know the biggest score for 2 is 95, for 1 is 99, for 3 is 82. And it says in the case of a tie, then we get the smallest course ID. So let's make another dictionary to get the course IDs and sort it as well. So loop again. So the student ID stays the same because that's what we're going to use to get the information we need. That's going to be the key, primary key in the result. So .append enrollments, course ID of I, and again, we can sort this. Cool. So now the keys are the same. So let's go ahead and build a results. It's going to be an empty data frame for now. And now we just have to collect the biggest ones. So we can loop through either dictionary because it doesn't matter. The keys are the same because obviously we still have to go through every student ID. So we can just say, let's make an answer list. So the first one is K, that's going to be the same. 2 is just going to be the highest grade. So DK of -1, that's the grades. 3 is going to be the course ID. You can say CID K of 0 because that is sorted. So for 2, it's 2. So we're going to have 2, 295, for example, 1, 199, or let's see, 1, 199. So we want the smallest course ID. Okay, so 1, 299 because so now it looks like we actually have to map. We can't just get the first CID. We have to get the one at the very end. So you know what? We're just going to do something clever. What I'm thinking is since the biggest one, so the biggest is max of DK, and then the location is dk.index of biggest. And if we print location, we should get the first one since they're sorted. So that should give us 0, and in this case index 1, and then we just map that into CID, so CID location, because we're almost like a binary search. We're finding the first occurrence of the biggest one and mapping it. So 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2's value is 3. So if we append 1, 2, 3 and we print answer, we should have our result 295, 2. Okay, so 3, 2. Okay, cool. So now we have our answer, and we can just go ahead and populate our results. So let's call this A, B, C, 3 lists, each list for each column from left to right, top to bottom. For V and answer, A dot append, we're just unpacking. So first, second, third, V of 0, V of 1, and V of 2. And then now we can just set, because there's 3 columns in the answer, so result of student ID is A, result of course ID is B, and so forth. Result of grade is C. And then we can return the result. So let's run this. Okay, that looks wrong. Oh yeah, we have to sort it by the student ID, which is the first value. Okay, let's submit it. It might have been that these aren't lining up. So maybe it was just 0 instead, because that's the smallest course ID. But then that's not correct. Okay, so looks like I messed something up here. We have to get let's print CID, and let's not worry about this for now. And let's get rid of this. We don't need that. So in this case, for 1, the lowest course ID we want is mapped to 99. I have an idea. How about we map the, so this is the student ID. Let's map this, the biggest one, to, so, okay, so so the student ID, let's say if the value, if enrollments of grade of I is equal to max of D of E, then we know we have a valid course ID. Then we can say this dot append this, because I think then and only then it's valid, because now we want the lowest of the biggest. So the biggest could be this, the biggest of the lowest of the biggest. So that's what this line is about. So let's submit it. And there you go, passes all test cases. Again, I'm really glad that I was able to solve this question on my own and come up with my own solution without any assistance, even though the runtime isn't great. So yep, that's it for this video. As always, hope you enjoyed and consider subscribing, and stay tuned for more.